Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing my 195th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of Zack Snyder's Justice League box set. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that these figures come in a very large tin packaging with the Justice League logo at the center. And turning the box around, we can see an image of the three characters that come in this set, being Superman, Batman, and the Flash. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe.
Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the new Mezco Snyder Justice League, which is a set I kind of thought we would never get, as I remember them announcing the Flash years ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago almost, and then they canceled the figure, and then just everything with the DC movies went to crap, and then they decided to re-release, reissue or redo the figure with a 3-pack, including a Snyder cut black suit Superman and a more updated Batfleck here, which is again crazy. This was just a wild set, so let's take a closer look at it. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Batman here, Batfleck, which I think looks really cool. I do love this figure quite a bit, and yeah man, it's another Mezco Batman, which I'm completely cool with because I think this figure looks awesome, and I will always take another Mezco Batman, as I think Mezco makes the best Batman figures. Now the suit looks really good. I love the texturing and all the panel lining and things like that. You can kind of see the abs there, that big fat Batman logo on there. I love the gauntlets with like the straps and then the gold knuckles and the blades and things like that. Even down to the boots looks really good with the gold steel toes, which I think looks awesome. The sculpting of those looks great. The bottom of the feet looks really nice. I love the material for the cape. Feels really, really good. Not too light, not too heavy. And then it does have a bendy wire in it. I will say that I wish the suit were a little darker. I've seen people say that it's just like completely inaccurate. I mean, that's just not true. Yeah, it's a little lighter, but I mean, it's not like it's purple or nothing like that, you know what I mean? So it's not completely inaccurate. It's just, it could be a little darker in my opinion, but I still think it looks great, especially the belt there looks awesome. And we'll talk about those head sculpts shortly, but yeah, very cool looking figure. Now jumping over to Superman here, Henry Cavill. I love this figure, man. It's just, I've always loved a black suit Superman, and I think this just looks great. I love the suit. Again, it just, that whole black with the Snyder style of the Superman suit, I just think it looks really good with all that texturing of the fabric. And then you got that printing technique here around the cuffs and along the sides. You get a little touch of silver around there, even down the side of the legs. The nice boots with that flat, and then like a semi-gloss black around there too. The bottom of the feet look really nice, very high gloss there. And then you got that bright Superman logo, which is not an S, it's the symbol for hope. And you got a little bit of a belt buckle kind of thing going on there. Even towards the back, you can see where the silver comes out through the back right there. The head sculpt looks pretty decent. Again, we'll talk about those a little later. But again, I also love the cape here with the bendy wire. The fabric just feels really nice and pliable. Not too heavy, not too thin. So I liked it a lot, man. Again, just, I don't know, something about a black suit Superman. It just looks very statuesque and very cool looking. I really dig how this one turned out as well. Now let's talk about the Flash here. Now, I actually really, really like this suit. I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller as the Flash, but that's a different story. But the suit I just thought looked so freaking cool. The bodysuit just looks fantastic with this like armor plating, and you have like these almost like wired conductors going throughout the suit, which I think looks really cool. The texturing on like the abs and in between like the different armor plates looks fantastic. You got the gold right there for the lightning bolt logo, the belt. All this looks so good, and it looks kind of dirty because this does have a nice wash over it, like a nice airbrushing that looks really good. Even got the fingertips throughout there. I love the shape of the cowl. Again, I just thought the suit looked so awesome, even to the back here. All that great detailing going down the spine here looks really good. You get more of those like wire conductors. Even the tiny bits of like little rivets are here, or studs, are painted silver. That's really good detailing. Again, the different types of textures throughout that. You got the gold lightning bolt on the boots there, looking really good. Even down to the feet, I love that a lot. There's some texturing down there at the bottom, with some lightning bolts on the feet as well. I think that looks super cool. And then I love the fabric of the under this, because a lot of this is overlay that lays over the actual fabric undersuit, and you can kind of see how these are on like a stretchy material like that that goes over this, so that's going to hinder articulation, which I'll show you here shortly. But overall, I think the figure itself looks incredible. Maybe that's just me because I love the design so much, and even though I didn't really like the newer Flash movie, I would not mind getting that Flash design in a Mezco figure, because I really do like that design as well. Now, moving on to the accessories for all of these guys, we get a bunch of interchangeable hands. You got different types of closed-fisted hands for all the figures. You got like running hands for the Flash. You got different types of flying hands for Superman. And then you got different types of gripping and trigger finger hands for Batman. All of them that I think work very, very well. What I think is really cool too, you even get these hands, or like the batarangs, are like sculpted or part of the or I guess glued into place for the hands, which I think is really great. So I love that a lot, so you can pose those pretty nicely. But we also do get a bunch of extra accessories for Batman here. The different types of batarangs, the smoke grenades, different types of grapple hooks. So you got like an open grapple hook, a closed grapple hook, and then one with a bendy wire. Those are really nice. I always love getting all the different types of Batman accessories. But then of course you do get his grapple gun, which we've seen many times with these Batman figures, the different Snyder Batman, the Batflex, which I think is really nice. But it's also really cool too. If you look at the back of the belt here, we do get a little stud right on there, and there is a peg on the side of the grapple gun, and then you can peg that. If I could do this on camera, it's going to be kind of tricky for me because I have big fat fingers and I struggle with everything in life. There you go. But you get to the back of the belt and it holds there pretty nicely, so I think that's pretty cool as well. But we also get this crazy like alien gun, which I think is pretty nice too. I almost cannot hold this thing. It's kind of tricky because you have to fit the finger through the thumb here like that, and it's kind of cool. I won't display with this, and you know, it's a thing, it's an extra accessory. I'm not going to complain about an extra accessory. I know I'll never use it. It's going to be more of a trinket that I might pose with him every once in a while, but it's still cool. Again, extra accessories, not going to complain. Now, as far as extra accessories for the Flash here, we're going to get all these different types of lightning effects, which I think is really cool. They're not really meant for any specific type of positioning. You can get him in like a generic type of wrestling, running pose. But I mean, they do have like a larger one here is going to be meant for like wrapping around his body, like, or his torso, like so. You do something like that, and then you can get like one of these other ones here and like attached to the leg, and you can see it's kind of like running off the leg like that. And then you can get another one kind of coming off the arms or the hands like so. It's pretty cool. You get one for each leg, one for each arm, and then one for the torso there. I think that's pretty awesome to get in those crazy lightning poses when he's running around. I think that's extra fun, and I always love how Mezco does their effect pieces. They're just so cool, man. They do such a great job with them, and I love them a lot. Now, we also do get extra alternate heads for all three figures here. So starting off with Batman, we get the pretty much standard head. We get a head that's a little more gritty teeth, so he's a little more angry. And then we get a Bruce Wayne head, which again, it's weird with Mezco is because Mezco has always been kind of hit or miss, so they've always been very soft with their likenesses of actors and things like that. And especially when they're on camera, when I see them in pictures or on videos, like even in my own video here, the likenesses don't look all that great. Borderline not like them. But when you get them in hand, you look at them in different poses and things like that, and more up close, you can really see the likeness. So that's always been kind of a thing with Mezco, so it kind of is what it is. We also do get a few head sculpts with Superman here. Again, a more standard straight-faced stoic head, a little more of an angry head, and then we get a really, really cool I-beam effect head, which I think just looks fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this off right here. And again, pop on that effects head for Superman here, which I think just looks so good. They did a great job with that, man. I love how that effect looks. You get some really cool poses with that. I love that a lot. They did a great job with that one. But we also do get a couple alternate heads for the Flash there, being again more of a standard head, and then a more curious, worried head with the mouth slightly opened. Again, again, with the likenesses, they are so borderline sometimes. They're not great at all. But again, once you see them in hand, they are a lot better. And again, it's just always been a thing with Mezco. I don't know what it is, but it's just always been a thing. Also, with each figure, we do get the Zack Snyder's Justice League Mezco circular base stand with the JL logo on there like that, and then a clear articulating arm. So you do get 3 bases and 3 arms like that. But the final accessory we're going to talk about is the mother box here, which I think looks super cool. I love that they gave us this. This just looks awesome. I love the sculpt of it. The translucent yellow plastic works out very, very nicely. So that does look really cool. Now this does have an LED feature, which I think is really nice. So there is a panel. It can be kind of tricky to find the panel. But if you kind of look on the edges of the mother box here, you'll kind of see some of the edges have a little bit of a lip on the edges like that to help pry it open. Or if you look, you'll kind of see like the panel where the batteries will go, and you can kind of like get something really thin and to prop that all open like that. But what's also really cool, the little switch is exposed right here. You could turn that on and then it glows very, very brightly. I think that looks really cool. The only place it doesn't glow is the bottom part where you actually put the batteries, but all the other angles of the mother box glow like that, and that's a really fun accessory, man. Especially if you love the movies and you love this whole story with the mother boxes, I think that's a fantastic addition. So now I'm going to run down the articulation of all 3 of these guys. I'm going to start off with Superman here. The neck and the head and the neck are on the ball peg, so those roll around very, very nicely. Lots of good motion there, left and right. Looks up fairly far, which is really nice for flying poses. Down all the way that much, and then pivot side to side. Arms go up, down, up, and out. Does feel like there's a bit of a butterfly joint there, but not much. Rotation at the bicep. We got double jointed elbows. That works out pretty good. Rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. We get a double ball peg in the midsection, so that rolls around very nicely. That is smooth, left and right, side to side, crunches back and forth. Lots of good motion there. Hip joints that kick up and forward that far. Down and back, not so much. Splits all the way out. Rotation in the upper thigh. Double jointed knees that work very nicely. You can rotate at the boot, and the ankles are on ball pegs, so those roll around, rotate up and down in a pretty decent ankle rocker. So surprisingly, really good articulation for Superman there. I think that works out very, very nicely. So we're going to put him down. And then we're going to move on to Batman here. So the head is on a ball peg, so that rolls around left and right, up and down, side to side. Arms can go all the way up, all the way down, up and out. Rotation at the bicep. We got double jointed elbows, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. We get a double ball peg, the midsection, so that rolls around, does turn left and right a bit, crunches back and forth pretty decently, and pivot side to side. And I totally just decapitated Ben Affleck here. I'm sorry, Ben. We can do hip joints that can kick up and forward that far, back about that much, splits out all the way that far. That's actually pretty nice. Rotation of upper thigh, double jointed knees, rotation at the boot, and then again the ankles are on ball pegs, rotate up and down a bit, and the ankle rocker barely works on these one. The Superman actually does have way better ankle rocker, so decent. I think the Superman one's a lot better than that one, which is a little weird because I feel like Batman should be super dynamic, but whatever. Now we're gonna move on to the Flash here. Here's the thing. Oh boy, I understand the issues that were going to come with the suit, with the different overlays and things like that. Now let's just break this down and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the head is on a ball peg, rolls around pretty nicely, does turn left and right. Up, not so much, because you can kind of see where that back of that cowl is hitting the back of the neck there, so he can't look up and forward, like especially when you're trying to get those cool running poses. Not as much as I would like. Down, barely anything. Side to side, barely anything. Again, these are kind of like on little bungees, and they're kind of separate little pieces. So this can go all the way up that far, down, up, and out. That's pretty nice. Rotation at the bicep, double jointed knees, or excuse me, elbows. Rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. That works out very good. Since this is an overlay and the articulation is under the overlay, you're going to get left and right, almost no ab crunch. A little bit of pivoting, that works out pretty good. Rolls around a tiny bit, but that's more at the waist there. So it's I wish that were a lot better. I wish they would have gave us some type of cut there or something to give us a little more ab crunch. So that's pretty hindered. The hip joints can kick forward and up that far, back that much. That's actually pretty decent. Can only do the splits about that far. That's because the design of the suit here goes really high on the hips. So that plastic piece is hitting the side of the leg like that. So you can't get much dynamic posing out of that. Rotation at that thigh. Double jointed knees that work very, very nicely. Again, ball pegs at the ankle, rotate up and down, and a tiny bit of an ankle rocker. That's probably a little bit better than Batman. But one thing I also don't like is this crotch flap. This is attached to this whole upper overlay. And then when you're trying to get it in running poses and things like that, somebody's gonna do a quick little running pose, you can kind of see how it's like hitting, and then you have to kind of like maybe stick it out or try and tuck it in under the thigh. Sometimes it just doesn't look good. I just don't really like this. I kind of wish this was a separate piece from this and maybe just glued to the fabric of the crotch, you know what I mean? And you'll see once you get it in hand, because it can be kind of a pain in the butt. See, when I'm doing that, it kind of just pops up the crotch piece like that, and then you kind of have to tuck it like maybe under that a little bit to get a little more flat. So it can look a little weird sometimes when you're posing him around. But you know, I'm still happy that we even got this figure. I thought we would never get it. Fingers crossed at some point we get a Mezco Cyborg to really finish up this team. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to have to buy the Mafex version. I think that's what a lot of people are doing. This set is really cool, man. I do like it a lot. I'm glad it came out. It is not without its issues. I will definitely tell you that. But it's still very fun for me, especially if you want to finish off this Justice League team. So for that alone, I think it is definitely a must get.
So for a quick size comparison, here they are standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here is Superman standing next to the first Man of Steel Superman from Mezco, in which you can really see the skin tone difference, and I love the black version a lot better. And for your Flash comparison, here he is standing next to the comic book Flash, also from Mezco. And for your Batfleck comparison, here he is standing next to all the other Batflecks from Mezco, and I freaking love these. These are definitely some of my favorite. And just for fun, here they are with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco Justice League. Now overall, I'm really excited that we even got this set. Again, that Flash was supposed to come out a very long time ago, but then got canceled and then brought back because of the Snyder cut, and now we have this set, which I'm pretty happy with for the most part. Now again, it does have issues, like the articulation with the Flash is definitely hindered, and I did anticipate that, so I really didn't expect much, but I do feel like they could have done a better job with that. I really, really do. The suit feels a little tight even with the overlays and the armor pieces, but still, it's a cool figure. I absolutely love the sculpt and the design. The paint is so gorgeous, and I really love those light and effect pieces. Batman's very cool. I do wish the suit was a little bit darker, but you know, if you have any of the other previous Batfleck figures, you know what to expect. He's a chonky, beefy of a Batman, and I love that. I love the soft goods cape. This time he has the wired cape, which some of the previous Batfleck figures did not come with, and I love all his accessories like the grapple gun and the batarangs and things like that. Those are all a lot of fun. But I think my favorite figure from the set, which I did not anticipate was going to be, is definitely the black suit Superman. That thing is so good. That's probably the best articulation out of the three. I love the updated skin tones. The cape with the wire is just awesome. I love the head sculpt with the eye beams coming out. I mean, man, that thing is freaking rad. As a giant Batman fan, I definitely thought it was going to be either Batman or the Flash, because the Flash is the newer figure that we were supposed to get a long ago, but I am so shocked that I love that Superman. And again, maybe it's just because I love a black suit Superman, so it stands out as something special to me, but for me, he's definitely the figure of this set, and all of these are pretty awesome, again, with their flaws, but I still think these will look great in your Mezco collection. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.